Good morning. It's Friday morning, and it's Pastor Pete from Northminster Presbyterian Church, and I want to share this morning's morning devotional. Last Sunday, we heard a sermon preached from Pastor Ken about Lazarus being raised from the dead, and there was this, actually it wasn't so much about Lazarus, it was about his sisters, and about how it was that they were believing or grieving. And I wanted to read a little bit more of the story because I was thinking about this, especially in light of what it means to be Easter people, resurrection people. Later on, when it comes time for Jesus actually to raise Lazarus from the dead, he says, "Lazarus, come out." He says it in a loud voice. He commands him. And the dead man comes out. His hands and his feet are wrapped with strips of linen, and a cloth is around his face. And Jesus says to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." I've often wondered about Lazarus being raised from the dead and how it is that he even obeys this. I mean, he's dead. He's not alive. He's been there for 4 days. It says that it's beginning to stink. That's what his sister says, at least. And so how is it that Lazarus has it in his power to be able to raise himself from the dead? I think we know the answer to that. It's not so much that Lazarus can will it himself, but his obedience comes from the call of Christ on his life. When Jesus calls him out and says, "Come out, Lazarus," it's the call itself that has the power that Lazarus needs to be able to come out and to obey that command. In Ephesians, Paul writes about what it means to be Easter people with resurrection lives. And he says that we are those who once lived in darkness are called to live in the light. And later on he says, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." Well, how is it that we who might be sleeping get woken up? I don't know about you, but I don't wake myself up very well. I need something. I need a person, or I need an alarm. And the power that I need to wake up comes from outside of me. And then once I wake up and I'm woken up, I have the ability then, and I'm empowered to obey and to follow up, to live my day. Friends, it's the same thing spiritually, that for us to wake up, we must realize that it is Christ who's calling us. Wake up, sleeper. Rise from the dead. Rise from your sleep. And it is Christ who's going to shine on you. What does it mean to be Easter people with resurrection in our hearts day to day? Well, it means that every day when we wake up, we realize that we've not empowered ourselves to wake up, but God has woken us up, and God will wake us up, and that God will give us everything that we need, all the power that we need to obey him, to follow him, to live as children of light, reflecting the light that he gives to us. So on this Friday, wake up and realize that it is Christ who's calling you to follow and obey. God bless you.